Congrats on making the finals of the Stay Up Late Show. When you're lying in bed, coughing and turning, and happen to scroll onto Xiao Fu's wilderness swordplay video, then, my friend, you've hit the jackpot again. Today, I bet my old baby's battery level is around 63%. If I guessed right, give a squeak in the comments. If I'm wrong, take a screenshot and post it below. Now, please rest your left foot on your neck. Let's get straight into today's main topic. Summer in Ionia is filled with crisp bird songs. Fruits are abundant. Tired of his job as the community's 5-star general, Xiaogang ventures into the jungle alone. He wants to find a scenic, feng shui treasure spot to build the dream house of his imagination with his own hands. Here, he can accompany the mountains and rivers and live in sync with the sun and moon. After searching for 2.5 hours, he finally stops beneath a cluster of giant rocks. After carefully inspecting the soil quality, he decides to settle his new home right here. Before the official construction begins, the ground debris needs to be cleared, whether it's waist-high shrubs or tangled vines. Nothing escapes the judgment of his dragon slayer blade. Crisp snapping sounds echo through the forest. Only the birds hop joyfully on branches to the beat. Time passes unknowingly, and the entire hillside becomes clean and tidy. At this point, Xiaogang begins the next step. He takes out a pickaxe and digs vigorously, planning to level out a proper foundation. Even when blocked by giant rocks, he doesn't back down. He unleashes his primal force to send them rolling home. Accompanied by the thumping of the pickaxe meeting soil, the foundation's outline gradually becomes clear. Xiaogang plans to expand into the giant rock, creating a sheltered space to shield himself from wind and rain. Although the mountain rock is hard, he relies on the perseverance of the old man who moved mountains. He chisels away, strike by strike. Every swing uses all his strength, as if pouring all his exhaustion and weariness of city life onto this unyielding rock. Gradually, a significant space opens up inside the giant rock. Feeling it's about right, he starts leveling the floor, clearing away excess soil and debris. Soon, a large, flat, and smooth foundation. Considering he will live here long term, drinking water is currently the biggest issue. After some deep consideration, Xiaogang plans to make an advanced water purification system. First, he digs a few suitable platforms on the left hillside. Then he fetches river water and starts preparing a large amount of wild concrete. I have to say, Xiaogang really has a sharp mind. 2 simple bamboo tubes allow him to carry a lot of water at once. Once the concrete is mixed, he layers it with stones. In no time, he creates a beautiful water reservoir. And this pre-fired charcoal is a magical filtration tool. He carefully spreads it at the bottom of the reservoir, then covers it with a layer of clean river pebbles. This way, once the river water seeps into the pool, absorption by the charcoal and initial filtration by pebbles will take place. This removes impurities and odors. For aesthetics, he paves the extra pebbles on top. From afar, it looks like an exquisite piece of art. Of course, 1 unit isn't enough for clean filtration. So Xiaogang continues working, making 3 of them in one go. In the empty space at the bottom, he also adds some artistic creation. Smooth concrete, paired with polished pebbles, carefully sculpted. It looks very beautiful. Can you guys guess what it's for? After that, Xiaogang brings a pile of materials to tinker with. With a few quick moves, he assembles a unique wooden trough. Looks like this will be placed here to catch water. It resembles a bathroom wash basin back home. The pre-drilled hole at the bottom is for connecting the pipe. Next, Xiaogang connects the bamboo tubes one by one, forming a drainage pipeline leading to the ground. As for the joints, Xiaogang has his own secret technique. He uses some dark, homemade glue. Smearing it evenly on the inner wall of the pipes ensures a tight, leak-proof connection. Once assembled, covering the pipe with soil completes the drainage system. He seals the extra grooves at the bottom of the wooden basin, making it watertight. This makes the whole thing look neat and smooth. Once paved with pebbles, it fits perfectly. The 3 filter pools also need to be connected with pipes, creating a progressive filtration system. This ensures every drop of water is fully purified. Currently, the system lacks the most important thing, a water source. So Zhao Gang immediately carries bamboo up the mountain to search. Not far above the base, there is a winding creek. The water level is high, clear, and sweet here. Perfect for daily use. Zhao Gang clears an intake point among the rocks, then starts processing the bamboo he brought. Just split it in half. Remove the nose. It becomes a perfect aqueduct. Just like that. Zhao Gang builds the line towards his home, step by step. The bottom is supported and fixed with tripods. Every bamboo channel is precisely aligned, ensuring the water flows steadily along the preset path. When the final section of bamboo is successfully mounted over the reservoir, crystal clear stream water flows down the winding aqueduct, slowly pouring in. After passing through layers of filtration, it finally lands in the wooden trough. Watching the splashing water, Zhao Gang reveals a satisfied smile. Excited, he scoops up the first handful to wash his face, then drinks a big gulp directly. Sweet. The refreshing taste spreads from his tongue to his throat, carrying the purity and chill unique to the forest. This sip of water is the forest formally accepting him, and his rite of passage into this life. Zhao Gang wipes his mouth in satisfaction, his eyes full of longing for the future life here. According to his test, the drainage pipe also works perfectly. The major issue of water solved. Next up is building the main structure of the house. He immediately brings in a lot of thick, processed timber. He takes out a chisel to carve mortises one by one. Although this process is tedious, it saves a lot of effort in the subsequent assembly. Finally, once a log is finished, he starts digging the foundation. The giant rock above also needs some simple trimming. Now, the fixing of the columns can begin. Zhao Gang doesn't choose the conventional charring method. Instead, he fills the pit directly with charcoal. This method also slows down rot and repels insects, thanks to perfect planning and processing beforehand. With just a little assembly, a solid wall frame appears quickly. From a distance, the living area looks quite spacious. Zhao Gang adopts a beautiful regular hexagon structure. Not only is it strong, but it also perfectly utilizes the complex terrain of the rocks. As for the roof connection, fixing it is a bit difficult. But don't worry, Zhao Gang has a plan. He whittles a strange wooden block, thin at the top, thick at the bottom. He saws an opening in the middle, and inserts a wooden wedge. This is a classic self-locking wedge structure. Zhao Gang slowly hammers it into the hole in the overhead rock. As it goes deeper, the wedge forces the tip to expand. Once tight, it will never fall out. He even tests it with his body weight after fixing it. Solid as a rock. With the support in place, he can continue with the roof. He first raises the walls by one layer, to act as the top beam. Then he lays the purlins one by one. All connections are drilled and secured with wooden pegs for double reinforcement. Once done, Zhao Gang steps back to admire his work. Judging by his back, he must be quite satisfied. Protected by the giant rock, shelter from wind and rain isn't an issue. He decides to make a large bed for resting first. He spots a large tree that he can't even wrap his arms around. This tree has tough and thick bark. He plans to collect some as the main material for the bed. He just needs to cut suitable grooves around the trunk, then peel it off, bit by bit, obtaining a perfect piece of bark. This tree is similar to you. Stripping the bark won't kill it. But just in case, Zhao Gang only strips half of it. After collecting enough and bringing it home, Secondary processing is needed. First, he carefully removes the rough outer surface, keeping only the soft, snow-white fibers inside. Then he rolls it onto a log of suitable thickness. Some pounding and beating. It becomes incredibly soft. I have to say, Xiaogang knows his stuff. I couldn't come up with this method in a lifetime. Once the whole piece of bark is tough yet pliable, it's hung on a prepared bamboo pole to dry. Seeing the great results, Xiaogang immediately makes another one. He can't stay idle while waiting for it to dry. He brings a lot of wood and repeatedly trims it. Soon, the logs turn into sharp-edged square beams. Then, following the blueprint in his mind, he cuts mortises one by one. These square beams will serve as the main bed frame. Each one is precisely measured and polished to ensure seamless joints, accompanied by the babbling water and gentle breeze. A beautiful, sturdy bed frame appears before our eyes. Long hours of work make Xiaogang feel a bit tired. So he prepares a simple campfire. Boil some tea and rest. First, he chisels a hole in the middle of a thick log. Then, he carves beautiful wooden shavings from a dry stick. Come on, it's just lighting a fire. Does it need to be so exquisite, making it look like art? But Xiaogang enjoys it, as if every action is a testament to his love for life and craftsmanship. As the shavings quickly catch fire, the dancing flames illuminate his sweaty but smiling face. He quickly fills a pot with filtered mountain spring water and puts it on the fire to boil slowly. Listening to the subtle sound of water heating up in the pot, the air is filled with the rustic scent of earth and burning wood. At this moment, there's no city noise, no work pressure, only the tranquility of the forest and inner peace. While waiting, Xiaogang uses bamboo strips to whittle a few needles. Slightly charring them makes them sharp, and a red-hot small knife bores the eye of the needle. With these ready, he can start sewing the bark bed surface. First, spread the bark evenly over the bed frame. Then use wild hemp rope to sew it, bit by bit. To fix it, midway, Xiaogang fell ill from long-term exhaustion, so his cousin, Old Wong, temporarily took over the construction. He works meticulously as well, striving for perfection. Before long, he turns the bark into a 5-star luxury mattress. Once done, he quickly hops on to test it. It's not only bouncy, but also carries the unique fragrance of wood. The remaining piece of bark can be used as a blanket. Old Wong lies down, rolling around in comfort. When Xiaogang returns and sees this bed, I bet his illness will cure instantly. Resting for a moment, Old Wong contentedly drinks a cup of strong tea. Looking at the empire his cousin built, he feels delightful inside. It's getting late. He plans to go out and find some ingredients for a delicious wilderness dinner tonight. He searches around in the river and soon finds some tasty wild vegetables. He gathers a big bunch to take back. Of course, veggies alone aren't enough. Before long, he catches plenty of small fish and shrimp in the rock crevices until his hands are full. Only then does he reluctantly head home. He goes to the sink and cleans all the ingredients thoroughly. Hey bro, what is this? Who eats hot pot while building in the wild? This is getting a bit too luxurious. Indeed, the cousin's fat didn't grow for nothing. Soon, the aroma of fish fills the air. The bubbling sound seems to be the loveliest dinner prelude in the forest. Old Wong quickly picks up a piece of tender white fish meat and puts it in his mouth. The delicious taste explodes on his tongue instantly. carrying the sweetness of mountain spring water and charcoal scent. He nods repeatedly while eating, calling it satisfying. Animal calls rise and fall in the forest. Soup in the pot is still simmering gently, full and hydrated. Old Wong packs up the dishes and crawls into bed. The subsequent wall construction is complex. He plans to wait for his cousin to discuss it together. Thinking about it, his eyelids get heavier. Soon, steady snoring is heard. The night deepens, and the forest returns to silence. Only the babbling creek and occasional insect chirps guard this temporary habitat, waiting for Zhao Gang's return to continue their unfinished dream of a wilderness home.